What's up, family? Back at it again, like we never left. Story time. Tell you a story about how I was basically told to get good. So around 2005, we used to go to this local card shop. It was called CNR Comics, right? And there was a 14-year-old kid there, a little scrawny dude, long hair, really short. My son had to be about 13. Yeah, he's about 13 at the time. No, they were the same age actually. Jeez, man, I'm old. 13, 14 at the time. And we would play, and like he would never play in the tournaments, and the tournaments were good size. There were 25 to 40 people tournaments, and I always wondered why. I would see him like play with some other guys who didn't play, but apparently he had topped a couple of regionals, and he would like travel on the YCS circuit with those other guys, or I guess he was shonen jumps at the time. He would travel to the shonen jumps at the time, and he had been to nationals that summer. So yeah, this was the time after Xerion came out and everything, and Go format was heating up, and so one day, I guess it was a Thursday because the tournaments were held on I think Wednesday and Saturdays. Yeah, so it was like a Thursday. We went down to the car shop, and I would take my son after work, take the kids after work, and we just sit around and pick up cars, see what's going on. And I was like, dude, can we play? And he's like, let me look at your deck. I'm like, look at my deck. He says, well, is your deck competitive? I'd like to think so. And so I passed over my deck, and he's looking. He was like, brick, brick, brick. He's like, nah, no thanks, I don't want to play. And I looked at my deck. I was insulted. You know, my deck was shit, and I was hurt. And I was like, well, what do you mean? So he lays out my deck, and he's like, asked me why I play certain cards. He's like, these cards are terrible. I'm never going to let you summon this card. You're never going to get to do this 2-card combo in this. And he starts counting my deck. So you have a 48-card deck. And I was like, so? And he was like, well, you want 40. And I was like, I said, what does it matter? Because I played Magic, and Magic we had 60 cards, but that was the minimum. And it didn't occur to me. And he's like, well, you want to draw your good cards as soon as possible. All the way back in 2005, there were people who were on this 40 is better. And not just to be cool, but because the slimmer your deck, no matter how small the margins are, you draw your good cards. And I was hurt, but also I wanted to get good. And I was like, well, are you going to be here tomorrow? He's like, yeah, I'm here usually every day, just testing and stuff for regionals. And I was like, okay, fine. I said, tomorrow I'm going to bring my collection. It was meager at the time. Yeah, I think the most expensive card I had was a Call of the Haunted. It was Ultra First Ed. I was proud of that. And so I brought my little collection. It was a couple of Joey's World 10s or whatever they were, and like a cardboard box. Not quite a shoe box, but it might as well have been a shoe box. And so he was going through, and I pulled out Destruction Ring. I was like, this is a good card. And he said, no, you want this card. And he flipped through his deck and pulled out Ring of Destruction. I was like, what's the difference? He's like, read the card. Well, actually, he said, oh, read the card. So I read the card, and I was like, yeah, they do the same thing. He goes, no, they don't do the same thing. So yeah, Destruction Ring was a shit card. But I'm thinking, burn your opponent for 1,000. Yeah, but he's like, you lose your monster, they take 1,000. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that's bad. So we go through my deck, and he makes it better. I had 1 Chaos Sorcerer. He's like, well, you have 3 Chaos Sorcerers in here. Put those in here. And I was like, well, I don't want to remove from play my, I can't remember. Oh, I had a Knight of Jackal King. I love that damn card. It's a level 7. I said, well, I don't want to remove it from play. I want to make sure it's in the graveyard so I can premature burial or Call the Haunted. He's like, He's like, don't rely on those stupid plays. I was like, oh, okay. So he helped me. He helped me understand the synergies of cards, and he taught me one of the most important lessons about playing Go format: hold your graceful charity. There's I see a lot of people who are new to goats. They open a trinity, they fire off their duo, play pot of greed, and immediately play graceful charity, and it is like, hold your graceful charity until you got something worthwhile to discard. Wait till you have like a Genzo and a Sinister Serpent or Air Knight and something else useless. And they say, then if all else fails and you need to dig for an answer, that's when you use your graceful charity. Now I'm looking at this 14-year-old. I'm like, I'm old enough to be your daddy. How you talking to me like this? But dude was right. And it actually helped me get good. Sometimes you find help in the most unlikely places. And this just happened to be a 14-year-old. I'm well old enough to be his dad, but he had actual experience in the game. He played competitively. He was just better. And sometimes, you have your favorite cards in your deck and you don't want to take them out, and you're thinking these little cute little combos, and sometimes it's just not worth it. I learned that valuable lesson, that in the span of those couple of days. And it was really cool. Afterwards, I would exclusively, test against him. And then I'm like, okay, I got a new deck. And then he would look at me. I can't do the little eyebrow thing. He's like, well, is this one competitive? I'm like, I think it is. And so we played, and we went to a game 3. I was so proud of myself. He still beat me. He did like the most craziest play. He normal summon the Sinister Serpent, took my monster, then econed off, and took my other monster, moved Light and Dark, and dropped a card that I saw for like the first time, Blackluster Soldier. I was like, oh my god, that card is ridiculous. And he just killed me. And so I went and bought 2 enemy controllers. I still didn't want to buy Blackluster Soldier because that bitch was expensive at the time. But I did buy the Ring of Destruction. But wish this story had a happy ending. So the kid was 14. And the reason he was at the card shop every day, and I mean, he was there every day. He was in 9th grade, and young guy, and he was gay. And everybody knew he was gay, and it was cool. Duh. But his parents didn't accept him, and he happened to be staying with his lover. I should say partner. However, his partner was like a 30-year-old guy, and that wasn't good. And then one day he just stopped showing up at the card shop. And if he's out there somewhere, maybe he's watching my videos, maybe he still plays. What's up? I appreciate you. Because of you, I decided to start going to regionals that following year, and it made me the player who I am today. Yeah, it was really weird. Just months after that interaction with him, he just disappeared, and just never heard from him again. So I guess moral of the story: take the lessons that you can get from other players, but also keeping in spirit with my channel. Be kind to everybody in the community. You never know who's going to come and go. Embrace the people in the community, and hopefully this becomes a better place. All right, it's ygodubk, and I'm out.